right, we are. Are we live? I think we're live. Oh, whoa! How'd
Yep.
you do that? You did a.
I don't know. All I did was this,
How
and
you did that? Yeah, it did that on the screen. That was-
oh,
So that's
yeah.
that's a okay. So this actually bugs me. I'm sorry. We're gonna take this is a sidebar,
please
and
let's
we're gonna
do
start
this.
this sidebar right now. That is an Apple feature. So I know, by the way,
Oh.
now that you are using an Apple product, but it's something specifically incorporated. Devs hate it for good reason. This is a thing that is now installed with the latest version of Mac OS by default, and it works. It's a reaction system that responds to your gestures independently of what app you are using.
Hmm. Okay. I don't know that I like that either.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
That's
It's
spooky,
not
yeah.
practicable.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
No.
It makes development on the Apple system way harder. And yeah, it's funny, and I think a very anyway. That's the sidebar.
Okay.
Now you
So now we know that Mitch is part of the cult of Apple.
I
don't think
am. I can't escape it. I
Don't feel alone. I am too.
Yeah.
No,
Well, yeah. I pay good money for my same phone every year. Please leave me alone.
All right. Well, after that wonderful explanation, thank you, Yari, because I had no idea what that was. First time I'd seen that. We are the United States Pirate Party. Welcome everybody. My name is Drew Bingaman. I am your captain for this evening. Let's just go across where I see him. Ty, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Ty Clifford, currently VC of the United States Pirate Party, also de facto captain of West Virginia Pirate Party as an observer. And that's it.
All right, Mitch, you're next.
Ahoy. Mitch DeVillo of Chicagoland, Nye, the Illinois Pirate Party. Yeah.
Oh, it's now it's not
now
doing it,
you-
Steve.
now- yeah,
It's
now
also
it
not
doesn't want to do it.
consistent.
Yeah,
It's
that.
also not consistent. And
Welcome
there's
to
multiple different types of reactions. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
There
Okay.
it is. Yeah, see?
It works
Smart-
with the right hand, but not the left hand. I don't
Smart
know.
things are not smart. That's the
No.
first lesson of internet rule.
And
No,
we are
the-
the party
the-
of the internet, so we're the authority to speak.
We're
on it.
trying.
We are the authorities on this.
We're
Yeah. The less artificially intelligent you make your technology, usually the broader it has, the broader applications it has, the more robust it is. Anyway, so it's a general trend, not necessarily, Okay, correlation, not causation. I'm shutting up now. Bye.
That's all right. Johnny, are you with us? Oh, wait. Oh, no mic. Johnny has no mic. Johnny is the representative from Pennsylvania tonight, and will be chiming in in the chat. So we will update everybody if Johnny has something to say. Ben, you're next.
All right, Ben Horlick, the auditor of the PNC, and then the lead rep of the soon-to-be provisional Texas Pirates. Once we get our stuff together and actually vote on the bylaws.
Cool. Very cool. Joe, you're next in line.
Hoy, I am currently the treasurer as well as the representative out of Massachusetts.
And Yari.
There we go. Sorry, I had to press the button. Hi, I'm Yari, aka Rose Klein, and I'm the representative for California.
Awesome. And last but not least, Michael.
Hello. My name is Michael. I am the scribe/secretary. I like to call myself the scribe. Whatever you want to call me. Yeah.
Cool. We'll get the thumbs ups, right? Yay. Okay.
I'll swap the bean counter in support of the scribe nomenclature.
All right. Wow. That is kind of annoying, Mitch.
I'm sorry. I'll be done with it.
No. I mean, it's obviously you're not doing it, so.
It's the first time I'm having fun with it because it's the first time I've ever come across that feature. I don't thumb up into a camera, as it turns out, often. So this was cool. It's gonna get annoying super quick for me
Yeah.
too. Don't
Apparently, there's also some other reaction that like causes fireworks or some shit like that.
Oh boy,
It's bad.
We'll have
It's
to-
bad.
we're gonna have to look that stuff up for later. Ty, do you have something you wanted to?
Yes. So the big thing for today, November was today. Let me make sure I have it. 19th, the November the 19th. Dancing Bear, nice. The November the 19th is supposed to be the election swarm care, but we are definitely going to have to postpone it, perhaps because it is taking so long. No one has bid, no hints, no leads, no nothing for swarm care, so we cannot have a swarm care election. So what I would recommend is either a week out or 2 weeks out, because next week would be an IRC meeting, and then the week after that,
No, actually, it isn't. Next
it
week
isn't.
no.
It's a Jitsi.
We voted to have 3 Jitsies in a row, but we bailed last week because we were all fried. So
Okay, well, it also is Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of people consider that whole weekend to be a holiday. I didn't know if we were going to have a meeting or skip it or what.
well, why don't we open up the floor for discussion about this topic
For the whole
and
thing, yeah.
for the whole topic, and let's see if anybody has another option for a solution. That's awesome. That is amazing, Joe. You should just leave that up because that's awesome.
I wish I could.
Does anybody else have some input on the thought process here? Yari, go ahead.
My input, though minimal, is essentially it would be nice to get some sort of election as soon as possible, which is, I think, how other people are feeling about this as well. I am wondering if we might not have any nominations that we can make tonight during the meeting, just so that we can go through that process and see how people are feeling about the role. And if, I imagine there will be some people that if we were to do nominations as part of the meeting tonight, that there will be some people that won't be able to respond because they won't be here. But at least that way we can get a few ideas out into the internet, as it were, for who might be able to take on the role. I don't know. I think that might be useful. I recognize that without having any nominations, right? We haven't had any nominations yet, and without having any nominations on the docket, it's really hard to do an election. So yeah,
Hester would turn out.
All right, Michael, you want to have something to add there?
Yeah, just brief. Just letting everyone know my availability. I will be around next week, Thanksgiving weekend. So I don't know about anyone else's travel plans, but I guess we can discuss that.
Yeah, and I don't anticipate traveling very much for the holidays, so I can be around as needed, whether it's IRC or Jitsi.
It doesn't look like next week is going to be a problem, just in general. So, Mitch, and then Joe.
I just wanted to ask if it would be appropriate to start suggesting nominations, or if we wanted to continue with discussions on this first before we started nominating people.
Well,
can you clarify what kind of discussions you mean?
Just if I wanted to start throwing names on the board for nominees, is anyone opposed to that? Versus, is there anything else we wanted to discuss before we got through that process?
My other concern, not just Thanksgiving availability, but was also because obviously the election is not going to be tonight. So that'd be a godsend if it was. But when will the election be? So we have to decide on another election date.
do we have a suggestion for nominations, or for to change the date of the election. Rather, that would be what.
Having nominations tonight would be great, just from us or whatever. But I think because it's going to be Thanksgiving, and then that whole Corporation Friday, I don't know if it'd be easy to actually reach people. They would get them in time or not. Just a thought. Just a thought.
Joe? Yeah, Joe, go ahead.
Can we do the election for 2 weeks out from now with nominations due next week?
Well, that would be a suggestion. That would be a. Go ahead, Michael.
Wasn't the reason, however, having Jitsi tonight was so that we could have the election over Jitsi?
Yes.
Yeah, the
as
problem
that's
is
slightly easier.
Yeah, the problem was sourcing nominees and also sourcing. Just no one bid. No one bid. It's a very tough job.
And for the record, Johnny asks, "What do we want out of a swarm care manager?" Is a question. I would just. I mean, my opinion is that they would be the person that would be one of the first people to respond to, and this is kind of going with outreach, is the people that respond to the emails that come in, and handle that and keep touch with everybody that's out there in general, just to see if there's anything that somebody needs. Joe.
You are the liaison.
Yes. Go ahead, Joe.
Historically, Swarm Care Manager was somebody who would, when we were pushing a particular policy or plank or thing of that nature, their job would be to organize different other bodies. So say we're trying to do ranked choice voting. It would be a matter of, when we're doing a discussion on ranked choice voting, it would be a matter of reaching out to those people and organizing other organizations so that we have a greater reach as a pirate body. There's a book called No Safe Harbor, which really defines the position very, very well. And if you want to learn more about what a Swarm Care Manager does, that's definitely almost an essential read of any pirate.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, you got to be fluid. Got to be fluid. Mitch, you've done this. Could you chime in on what you think?
Of course. So I was Swarm Care Manager for 2 years running. I believe a good Swarm Care Manager just essentially, you're the outreach committee in board form. You have to be the one to reach out to people. If you see a new Twitter account popping up for a state pirate party, make sure you reach out to them. Hey, are you in the Discord? Are you interested in joining us? I want to attend a meeting, stuff like that. If there's an international pirate party, reach out. Hey, we're with the United States Pirate Party. Maybe there's something you'd like to do with us. Have some type of pirate outreach. During my time, we had a United States Pirate Party, an Australian Pirate Party had I think we called it transatlantic, transpacific, something, because it was some type of play on some, that's not important. What's important is we had a live stream with the Australian Pirate Party, and we had that set up, and I was the representative as Swarm Care Manager. And I have sent many emails signed off as Swarm Care Manager of the United States Pirate Party. It is a title. How you use that title is how you use it. It's very useful for making sure that this party has the people that we want coming towards the party into the party. It's very useful for making sure that people who are interested in the party have that liaison to discuss what they're interested in and if the party's even for them. Because some people come into the party, find out it's not for them, and leave, and that's totally okay. But you should be the middleman for them to find that out. And then read No Safe Harbor. It's not just possibly essential reading; it is essential reading. Every pirate should read No Safe Harbor.
Okay, Yari, go ahead.
this feels like a larger thing, but I want to acknowledge that the work of swarm care, or the people who have taken on the work of swarm care, have often, they've taken it in many different directions, and I think that's been very useful. It's a sort of role that's more nebulous. I also think that the specific tasks that have been taken on as part of that role have been usually shorter, like not shorter tasks, but temporary tasks. Mitch took on, for example, Mitch took on the regional outreach meetings, or the regional swarm care meetings. And that was a big chunk of Mitch's work in the world later on. And then, V's been taking up, he took up the work of setting up a bunch of different events. And I'm not sure that those are self-sustaining yet, but it felt like they've been getting towards that. And so I'm wondering, the reason I bring this up is because I'm wondering if some of the roles, such as swarm care, might be, again, this feels like a bigger thing, might be better structured as more temporary, in the sense that someone takes them on for a period of time that they designate. I also say this because we've had a bunch of people come into roles recently that then realized that the timing of the responsibilities for that role would not work out for them, i.e. they were only able to take on that role for a short period of time. And so I'm kind of recognizing that the work of that role and of some of the other roles in our organization, wondering aloud, don't think this is necessarily something for tonight, but wondering aloud if it might be more useful to have those roles structured in such a way as they are not necessarily bound to the yearly election, but can be a bit more loose in when they're picked up and put down, just as long as someone is taking on the roles that are needed. That's my wondering.
I think there's a lot of good stuff in there, Yari. I think we should definitely be thinking about that. So we should be going a little more of the anarcho-syndicalist route and having an executive director for the week, kind of a thing.
To quote Monty Python, yes, of course.
To quote Monty Python, yes. Dennis the peasant. He is being repressed right now, as a matter of fact. Still, damn kings.
Now you see the violent Harrison system.
Yes, it is.
Damn watery tarts.
Yeah, watery tarts flinging scimitars. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't vote for him. Did you? No, I don't think nobody did. So yeah, no, I think I think there's definitely some merit there. Yeah, that's more that would be something though. I think we'd have to do that would be a bylaws change though, would it not?
That's correct, which is why I suggested this
That's
as
not
merely thinking aloud, not necessarily something for
well, there is definitely something to be said for thinking bigger picture. So Mitch, go ahead.
I just wanted to say the process we currently have for resignations, it's pretty laissez-faire in the sense that you just need to send an email and you're effectively gone from the board, which I suppose life should be that easy as it is, but it's the process of leaving a vacant board member is where the problem lies. Making it more so where you could just kind of flow in and out would be ideal, I suppose. But I wonder if the simple solution would just be to say, if you're going to resign, at least put forward like your suggestion or suggestions for a successor. Like, don't leave us hanging. Like, now, granted, Ben, you came in and you're rocking it so far. Thank you for showing up and being Texas rep and the bean counter. Thank you for taking the title bean counter instead of auditor. That I appreciate greatly.
Nobody wants to be auditor.
I think as long as if you felt the need to take on the responsibility of the role, or you felt like you could take on the responsibility of the role, and you no longer feel as though that role is yours, whether you don't feel you can handle it or you don't want to handle it anymore, you should at least be given the responsibility to say, here is who I would put forward as my successors. And also, you probably should be in that role until someone else is voted in, which is what V is doing, which I appreciate from V. So that's just how I would work it. That's also me just talking out loud, but that's just Yari, just based on what you said. That's how I'd spin the wheel.
Yeah, go ahead, Yari.
Yeah, I think what I'm imagining here in my mind, sort of in the spirit of some of the work that AJ often did, and AJ would say along the lines of, give titles to as many people as possible, or something like that. It wasn't that I'm misquoting. I'm paraphrasing and misquoting. But the idea of that was to facilitate people from all amongst our supporters taking up work, and for that to be something that, especially as we give titles which are maybe not part of the officers, to make that work more flexible, but still given sort of an official stamp of approval and allow people to work on their own. What I'm imagining in that spirit is something where someone says, for example, if there's a swarm care vacancy, someone says, okay, cool, I will take on this role for 3 months, right? And that's all I got in me. And I think that is really cool. Like, if someone is coming to us and saying that, and saying, hey, I can take on this role for 3 months, I think that's very cool of them to have, those boundaries built into what they're suggesting. And saying, like, okay, I'm going to take on this work, and that way we know right at the beginning, cool, in 3 months we're going to have to schedule something to make sure that there's a replacement, if that's a necessary role, like swarm care would be.
I would say that is wonderful in theory, although I would also say that there's a lot of people that don't know right away that either life is going to throw them a curveball, or that they are taking on more than they can handle. And yes, it would be. I also would say that V has done a great job in saying that they'll be, we'll fill in until we got, we'll do the job until a replacement is found, and that's awesome. But let's not screw around. So, I like all that stuff. I mean, one thing I would say is, I am not as concerned about leaving a non-voting hole in the board so much. I would rather find the person that is going to want to fill the role because honestly, a lot of the role is not necessarily about us here in the PNC, right? It's about the rest of the party and making sure everybody in the rest of the party has got what they need. You are kind of the central hub there. Swarm Care is kind of the go-to person for almost everything. If nobody else, if you're not getting anywhere with anybody else, you should probably, reach out to Swarm Care, because they're the ones that are supposed to be taking care of the members. That's the way I see it, anyways. Joe, and then Mitch. Go ahead, Joe.
Thank you. So, what I'd want to say to this is that the terminology for somebody temporarily taking over is called an interim director, interim, etc. So, the terminology for that. So, I'd like to nominate Rose as the interim Swarm Care Manager. Whether or not Rose accepts it, that's on you. But
Joe, I don't mean to cut you off, Joe, but is my understanding not that V is still technically the interim or maintaining the spot? I believe that we have a Swarm Care Manager willing to hold the position until a new manager can be elected.
thank
So
you
I
for that
think,
correction.
of
I
course.
was unaware.
But if you
So
want to nominate Rose to be the next Swarm Care Manager, that is also a nomination.
well, what I wanted to say too is if we can't find a position for it, another option too is putting those duties onto the vice chair. Because why not have a flow stack of work for specific, or think of putting into place a flow stack. So if this position is vacant, it goes to this person. This position, like the treasurer is vacant, those duties fall to the encounter. If Swarm Care is vacant, it goes to vice chair, and then if vice chair and Swarm Care are vacant, then it goes to the chair, etc. And having a flow stack going on. So that way we know if there's no way to handle a duty, or there's always some backup in place.
Go ahead, Mitch.
I just wanted to kind of echo your points, Drew, where you said this is a non-voting hole in the board, which ultimately that would be the case. The United States Pirate Party, as I've said many times before, is a party of state parties, where the Pennsylvania Pirate Party looks different than the Texas Pirate Party, which looks different from the California Pirate Party, which looks different from the Illinois Pirate Party. And I think the role of the Swarm Care Manager is to kind of guide you into that. Hey, we're all a little different, but we all fit into this, and we all together. We're the United States Pirate Party. The United States Pirate Party isn't the entity that we are a part of. We together consolidate into the United States Pirate Party, and I think that the Swarm Care Manager is the representative of that consolidation. So if we don't have a Swarm Care Manager for right now, or if we do and it's V, V I think is, even if V scales back the involvement that they take on for the time being, just until we get the new Swarm Care Manager, I think that's fine as long as we take on the responsibility of making sure people who come to the United States Pirate Party know what it's all about and know how to find their place in it. Instead of talking to one person, they'd have to talk to all of us and get the idea. But I don't think that's a difficult task. And until we can get the one person that can do that task, if it's V in a role that is essentially non-existent, if V wants to hold on to the role until it's in a new elected position and doesn't do anything with the position, I think collectively we could pick up the slack.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly agree with that. And I think it's a little unfortunate that V had plans this evening because, I mean, I think that we're kind of speculating, how if V would like to get off the position, as soon as possible next week. I think it probably makes sense to kind of do like you're saying, do the nomination just to keep things rolling. But if they're comfortable kind of hanging on for a little bit, I don't see why we can't kind of wait for some like you're talking about, right? Give the title to somebody new who may not have checked the Discord yet or for availability or something like that. So I'm fine going either way, but just my 2 cents.
Go ahead, Yari.
Agreed with all that. I would sort of say that regardless of what our timeline is for the elections, regardless of how urgent we think it is, I would really encourage us to put in some nominations today, so that we can at least get that ball rolling a little bit.
I would agree with that. Does anybody have any objection to that, to try and at least get a couple of nominations tonight? I'm not seeing any, and I don't see Johnny saying objection in the chat. So I think there's a no objection. Thank you, John. All right. So yeah, we can. Is there a consensus that we try to do this again next week? Is that also sort of what we're looking at? Try and have this election next week. No objections to there. No objections there. Joe, go ahead.
I would like to officially nominate Rose.
For Swarm Care.
Sorry, I didn't hear
Aye.
what you said, Joe.
You've been nominated, Yari.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to just do do we want to get some before we put the pressure on everybody to accept the nomination? Do we want to get some other?
Yeah, I'll say
I
I fully don't know yet if I'm accepting that or not. So,
Okay, fair enough.
I would also, if I may, nominate James O'Keefe, who's not present. So,
Okay. All right, Michael, are you getting these nominations down?
I got Yari. What was the other? James someone?
James O'Keefe.
Jamie.
Thank you. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
that is a
and
name. That's
Johnny
the
is and Johnny is nominating himself for Swarm Care. So, and Mitch, go ahead.
Me.
I would like to nominate former Swarm Care manager Rowan Tipping.
Okay. That's that's 4, and we need some people to. Obviously, Johnny, you're accepting that now. Your self nomination, so we don't have to
Ooh.
confirm there. But the other 3.
Can we pause for a second? So we have Yari,
Mhm.
Mitch,
No,
Joseph. Who was it?
we have Yari,
Hmm.
Jamie, Johnny, and Rowan.
Johnny, what's his name? Lemuria?
Lemuria.
Lemuria.
Robinson is his actual name.
Okay, well, okay. And then who else?
Wow, it's a horrible looking Y. I'm trying to do this quickly.
James O'Keefe.
How do I spell Johnny's last name?
It's in the chat.
Lemuria.
Well, no, well, that's however we want to do this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Robinson.
Lemuria is no, Robinson. Johnny Robinson.
Yeah, Lemuria is the.
And then there was
That's the
another one that
screen
you said.
And then Rowan
Yeah, Rowan.
Tipping, Tipping.
Yes.
What's their name on Discord?
Should be
Rowan?
Rowan something.
It's
They weren't they in they were in
Rowan was Nice Guy Sky. I'm not sure if Rowan still is Nice Guy Sky. I think Rowan is just.
They were.
No.
Rowan was messaging in. Was it questions and comments? Yes, it is questions and comments. Road.
There you go, Mitch.
Road DHISATTVA. I don't.
Rodizatva. Rodizatva. That's what it kind of looks like to me. I don't know.
It's.
I don't know how you would say it.
It's like the Bodhisattva.
Something. Yeah. Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes. I don't know what that is, but
that sounds like a. That sounds like a Hindi name.
Yes. Yeah, that would make sense.
Or an ancient Indian something or other. I could be completely wrong on that. Am I wrong on that? Just sounds like it.
I think it's Buddhist, not Hindi, but I may be wrong on that.
Well, they're not.
Yes, it is Buddhist.
Somewhere
Since we're all wondering now, okay, so it's Buddhist. Bodhisattva in Buddhism, a being who has developed a spontaneous wish and a compassionate mind to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings.
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
I believe Rowan
There it is.
Quick definition.
All right.
Well, they are not part of the server, so I can't tag them.
They are, I believe. They should.
No.
Rowan is part of the server, I believe.
They do not have seller tag.
Oh. I will fix that right now then.
Yeah, I don't need.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm tagging people who have been nominated, so that's why I was.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna fix that right now and get Rowan back into the server.
Okay.
Wait, Rowan's running the server.
And people
Well, I guess
willingly
he is. I guess he doesn't
accept
have the sailor role.
Oh,
I don't know
That's
how
weird.
Yeah, I don't know how we did that.
must have rejoined.
Oh, there he
I
is.
thought he did.
Okay. So we have nominations.
And
Do we
then
have
Ty,
other-
it sounds like you're tagging them in the nominations thread.
it. Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
my
Rowan
suggestion-
just joined today again, I
Okay.
guess.
My suggestion would be that we let people accept or decline the nominations in that thread. And then it sounds like people are open to having an election next week. And I feel like I'm down to go with that.
Okay. So yeah, just to clarify, do we have any objections about having this election next week? I haven't heard anybody argue against it, so I think that sounds like consensus to me.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we have anything else that we need to do tonight?
Have we resolved or made any further progress in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict statement?
No. Well, at least I didn't. I'm being the
Do we want to do anything further with
stick
that?
in the mud is not the right term.
It's
Because I'm not intentionally trying to drag it to. Anyway.
No, I mean,
Joe. Joe, go ahead. You
Mass Pirates are actually working on the statement right now. If you would like to see what we have so far, I can get you a link. Hold on.
Johnny,
Yeah.
is that all on the Etherpad? Same Etherpad, or
I agree, Johnny.
yeah,
Is what all on the Etherpad?
the right now what we have.
It should all be on the
for
same. All of the
statement
stuff that we
that's-
had for it was up on that Etherpad.
Cool.
And apparently Massachusetts is working on a similar one. This is. Let's finish up the thing before I give an unrelated statement. Never mind. Yes, it's all in there. I don't know. We can, if we're up to publishing the thing that was already sort of agglomerated, I am down to do that tonight or tomorrow. I can post that. I know there was some weird discussion and slight objections to the statement as it was currently worded, and my feeling here is that we had, I know, more than 3 pirate agreement on that current statement, and the objections were reasonable and also details. Oh, hey, I'm back. Yeah, so they were very concerned with the statement seems to be missing any action items. I thought we fixed that already, Johnny. I don't know. So it was myself and John and Clifford or Ty. Sorry,
You're fine.
Myself and John and Ty, who were taking point on that previously. John, are you reading the Massachusetts pirate statement or the one that we have?
I apologize. I stepped away for a moment Are we talking about the Israeli Gaza?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah, that's why. That's why, Johnny.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
reading the
reading the Massachusetts one. Yeah.
Massachusetts one.
So I don't know. I guess I can absolutely volunteer to myself to publish the statement as we had it. But I want to flag here that that there were. I don't think there were. I can't remember how strong the objections were. They were on the order of objections to that statement last time, which is why at the end of last meeting, or maybe it was last meeting or the meeting before that, I sort of said, okay, then what if we just did individual statements from people? And then I haven't had time to put that together. So if people are still okay with that initial statement, which had some slight objections from some pirates in our group, but which I think passed muster for the majority of us, then I'm down to publish that. Alternatively, if people do want to do individual statements, then I would ask for some help with organizing that.
Okay, I have I mean, I'm down with that. It's like, I barely put in any work. I just added end all war at the end and then a few grammatical changes and stuff like that. That was about all I did. But on the alternate idea, V did post I forget what Texas Ben, what is it called? Texas Provisional Pirates.
Yeah, provisional Texas Pirates.
Provisional Texas Pirates. My apologies. V did put her statement from Texas.
V uses he or they pronouns, is my understanding.
What? Come again?
V uses he or they pronouns. It's my understanding, at least.
Okay. Well, I'll have to consult my Mexican uncle on this to get everything. So regardless, I think their statement is really well-rounded, and I honestly think that we could just adopt it as ours and say we stand with the same exact thing. Because I read that like 5 times already, and it's extremely to the point. It's well written, and it says everything basically that we want to say, but it just says it. I believe it's very sound. And I feel like we should take a look at that personally and see if we could just adopt that and present it as, that's what we stand with. We stand with exactly with what Texas said.
Yeah, again, I go back to this is as far as I'm concerned, this is one of those things that falls under the 3 pirate rule. I personally I don't have a super strong opinion on this issue. I mean, war is bad, and
It is.
anytime states are anytime any state or any leader of a group is taking out civilians or anything, that's bad. And I feel that there is definitely culpability in both sides of this conflict. And I am not giving anybody innocence here other than the civilians in Gaza. So I mean, and I am not an expert at all in this at all. So that's just my hot take. Yari, go ahead.
Hi. Many things I could say. Here's what I want to say. Okay, if we're doing if we're just adopting the Texas one as a national party, that's fine. I want to know how, like, if that's what people think that we should do, then I can do that tonight. I'm just wondering how people think that should be done. Like if I'm gonna post like, hey, we agree with the Texas Pirates about this statement, that feels a little bit.
No, well, transparency is an amazing thing that you can always use to your advantage. You could just put at the top, we thought about writing our own statement expressing our ideas as a collective or whatever you want to say in your words. But we decided that, we took a look at Texas and they have an amazing opinion. They have an amazing stance on this, and this is what we decided to roll with. We back that.
Joe, it's on the U.S. Pirates website. It should be the most recent one, or the second most recent one, or something. It's just on. It's
Basically, you just say we tried this and we came to the conclusion that we like this instead.
Well, I think it kind of goes to pirates in general that why should we do extra work? if
Yeah,
somebody else-
exactly. Don't we promote
You know, we
copy?
do. We promote being open source.
Yeah, I'm a
So-
big advocate for copy paste.
Yeah.
So yeah, listen, Chicagoland also just put out like it's their own little statement, and Texas put out some little statement. I think Texas statement's more well-rounded personally. I think it's a fantastic idea just to say, hey, we did try to come up with this collectively, but Texas said everything we could have possibly needed to say. And
I think we could honestly just say we concur.
Ah, yeah, that. Yes. There we
yeah,
go.
it's right. It's not. I don't think there's any shame in saying, hey, we have a statement made by one of our members, or we had a state party. We just had a pirate party make a statement that we couldn't have said better ourselves, and we concur.
Go ahead,
And
Yari.
we want to present this statement.
Cool. If there are no objections, then I can just do that tonight.
I think so. Yeah. Now is the time for objections. Johnny says no objection, and I'm not hearing anybody else.
No.
So that sounds like that is a great resolution to that issue that has been, hanging around since when the hell was that attack?
Over a month ago.
Yeah.
A
Go ahead,
month
Yari.
ago.
You got something else?
Yeah. Unrelated. I'm wondering if there's anyone who would like to collaborate with me on a statement about Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah.
Wasn't that last month?
No, it's well.
Well, technically,
There's
it's a big mess.
there is so sorry. Indigenous Peoples Day is replacement of Columbus Day. Sorry, my bad. Yes, you're right. My bad. I was thinking of oh shoot, what am I thinking of? I don't know.
Thanksgiving.
But, yeah, Thanksgiving, but not Thanksgiving.
Oh, just. I mean, I wouldn't mind a land back statement on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If you know what, Yari, I've been really, really getting into Native American qualms recently, and by that I mean I just saw Killer of the Flower Moon. So I think I definitely would like to contribute to that.
Okay.
Because
awesome.
Jesus, we are on stolen land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
National
All
Day
right.
of Mourning.
Yeah, Johnny's in on that too. So yeah. I think
Sweet. I will send you a message. It would be nice to put something out and just say like, hey, #land back.
Yes, please. Speaking as partial American Indian, yes, that would be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Is it National Day of Mourning, Yari? Is that what you're possibly
No,
thinking
no.
of? No?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just Googling things.
I don't think it's an I now Mitch pointed out to me that correctly that Indigenous Peoples Day was a month ago because Indigenous Peoples
Columbus
Day
Day.
is Columbus Day.
Yes. I don't recognize,
Screw that guy.
Christopher
but-
Columbus.
Yeah, but
I
Or Lee
recognize-
Erickson,
Thank-
personally.
goodness he's dead. That's all I'm saying.
I recognize the goddess Columbia, but I do not recognize Columbus.
This guy.
So, but anyway, so
The only way I'll recognize him is as a fraud.
yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. That
should not be
was a
so-
lovely statement.
Anyway,
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then, Johnny and Mitch, I will message you and we'll throw something together.
Awesome. Great.
That is awesome. Yes, that's right. Thank you. Thank
Hell
you,
yeah.
Johnny. John pointed out that November is National Native American Heritage Month.
Oh, well then there we go. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Not
Oh.
that we need a specific day to be able
No.
to say things that are true.
Right. Yeah. Stolen land
We're-
is still stolen land.
Just a quick, just on the subject of Native American and giving land back, and you're not going to hear me say this about anything else they do, because they've been fucking sucking it up. But shout out to the Supreme Court for giving half of Oklahoma back to the natives.
Yeah.
That
Woo!
ruled. That
Yeah.
was that right on. That ruled.
There are definitely
Yeah, one of
problems with the
few
court,
Supreme
but that
Court
was
wins of late.
that was one of the right decisions of the late. Yeah.
I mean, occasionally bad people do some good things.
Yeah, broken clock, right?
Yes, twice a
Broken
day.
Yeah, something
clock
like that,
twice a
yeah.
day. Unless you're on a 24-hour clock, and then it's only once.
Finally,
wish there were
somebody
right
else
once a
says
day.
that.
That's what my girlfriend uses.
Yeah. So, in other news, I did get confirmation that I won my contest. So I am elected as a pirate now. I'm now officially
Applause.
the pirate constable now officially.
Update the page on the website to include your
Yeah.
accomplishment,
I will have to
Yeah.
do that. We'll have to do
and
that.
then we could update the Wikipedia to the big number 3.
I will get at some point here I will get I have to get in contact with the Board of Elections and then officially accept and then I'll get a nice election certificate. So that'll be fun. And then in January I have to be sworn in again. So yay.
Congratulations. It's good to hear.
Yeah, writing campaigns do work, You just got to get people to support you. So, I mean, I didn't need that many votes, but it's a small Pennsylvania municipal level thing. So, all right. Any other? Do we have any other business that we need to discuss before we call it a night? Since we are at 10 o'clock, Mitch and Michael chimed in right at the same time. So,
Michael, if yours is a statement, mine's an inquiry. So I don't know what you would like to, and then I will
I don't know
acknowledge
if-
Joey's motion to adjourn.
I don't know if mine would also be an inquiry or a statement. But just something to maybe bring up, Chelsea Manning's birthday as a possible thing. I know V wanted to have that brought up.
Michael, can you remind me when that birthday is? Like what day that is?
December 17, I believe. At least that's what I have. I know there's a visual in the PNC group chat. That's what I have on that.
We should start a GoFundMe. Get her for your money.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And I can actually withdraw. I don't need to ask it. I just want to second Joe's motion to adjourn.
All right. Motioned and seconded. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Just
Aye.
shout it out. That's
Aye.
3, 4. That should be enough. I don't hear any objections. Johnny, officially, are you in on adjourning for the night? Yes. Okay. So yeah, we're good. All right. Thank you, everybody. And it's going to be a little while, but in the spring you'll get a chance to maybe vote pirate again, and get in those primaries. So, and Joe gave us the dancing bear once again. That
Hell
is
yeah.
that is. I like Pirate Kitty better, but that's just my taste.
Somebody put a pirate hat on that bear.
Yeah, right. He does. He needs a pirate hat.
I
Edited in
needed a
post.
bear to make me happy today, so thank you, Joe.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's That's like
Hey.
pirate
Whoa.
potato. That's like no, I don't know what is
Potato
that?
bear.
I'm
It's
just
like,
sending
oh,
it.
it's just like
There
a.
we go. Clicking the N button.
There we go.